What's up, guys? We're gonna BroBeatzTV, and today I'm gonna be showing you why your samples and melodies don't sound as professional as you would like them to. So let's just hop right into it. So a lot of people will think that your samples or your melodies don't sound good because your notes, your music theory, or maybe don't play an instrument or something, but that is not necessarily true. Playing an instrument and knowing music theory is very important, but the most important part that I've noticed is the processing. That is 90% of it, I would say, because a lot of melodies in these like samples you really like, and you can all listen to the music, right? It's very simple. Like the beats, the melodies are very simple. They're not super complicated. So when you look at the midis, a lot of times they're very, very simple. Now, granted, they'll kind of look something like this, right? Just throwing stuff out there, right? They're very simple. So why doesn't your stuff sound as good as theirs? Well, it's because you don't process it enough. So what I'm gonna show you today is actually how to process the bass texture. And I think the texture is the most important part. And that is kind of like the artifacting, like dark ambience that you hear underneath like a dark sample. I'm gonna show you how to make that. So let's go ahead, and I'm using this sound here just if you wanna know. Okay, you can use a piano. I think a piano or guitar will work perfectly for this part. Or you can like use vocals and stuff, but let's go in here. We're gonna make a little melody together, or you can just copy at the end. So let's do like pull this back. I'm gonna quantize that, and then we can use this G, pull that up, and I'm gonna just literally pull this down, and we can just kind of pull these across. Right, very simple melody. Let's see what that sounds like. If we need to change anything, okay, that's fine. All right, we don't got to make the best thing in the world. And then what we're gonna do real quick is we're just going to Control-B it. Oops, there we go. And then on this side, just so it's like a loopable melody, so we can like add a beat, 808 to it. We're just gonna change this part. I'm gonna just pull it like this. So you can just, if you don't know what notes or key I'm in, don't worry about it. Just copy what I'm using. The only part that's important is the processing. So we're gonna do that next. All right, so now we have our little sound, and what we're gonna do is close this, and I'm gonna show you the processing right now. So this is the chain that I came up with. So I tried to keep it extremely stock because I don't want to use too many like third-party plugins. I want everyone to be able to like do this. So this is what I have. So you're probably looking like, okay, what is pre-effects? Well, pre-effects is everything you add on before you render it into a sample. So before you render this, you want to add these sounds on, and then after you render it and manipulate it, you want to add your post. Okay, so the only thing that we're missing from this, like this kind of setup, is you are missing your perk loops. So stuff like this that you would hear like in the sample, like those little weird loops you would hear, and probably like, I don't know, some like atmosphere. So you would embed that in the sample as well, but I don't want to do that because not everybody just has those on hand. So I want to keep it very simple. Just use one sound for this, because once you have the chain, you could just put whatever you want in there. Okay, so I'm just being transparent. We are kind of leaving out that step. So let's go ahead and throw these on. So first we have a chorus. So this is the chorus I'm using. Very simple. Okay, you can copy it if you want to. It's literally default. I just kept everything as bare bones as possible. I will be linking this in the description if you want this, like this chain here. Okay, so yeah, this is the chorus that we have, and I'll just turn that on. Just play it in here. Oh. Right, and these choruses and flanges are going to help us with like that artifacting when we like pitch it up or pitch it down or whatever time manipulation you use. And then we have flanges, again, default. You can kind of just copy it or just load up your own one. Yeah, so that's it. We're gonna turn it on. And the reason I like these two to combo together is because it kind of creates an artificial pan. You know, a lot of people use like panning plugins to like make things pan left and right. This is just a easy way to do it, right? And so then we have retro or RC20. This is just for that like wow and flutter. Now I'm just using my own preset, Warner, this drum bouncer preset. I'll link everything below, but you can just use your own stuff, right? It literally does not matter. So this is it on. As you can see, it's adding like noise there. Okay, so you have like that wow and flutter, like that detuned sound effect. Millions of plugins you can use for this. I'm just using what was easiest for me to save CPU. And then on top, this is one people forget all the time, compressor. You need to have a compressor on so you can control those dips, so it's consistent volume or whatever. So boom, this is what I have. You just want it on this. I just have it on vintage. You can choose whatever compressor you want. Again, I'm just using stock for the sake of the video. So this is what it sounds like now. You can see it's a lot more controlled now. So I'm gonna turn this noise down a bit because I don't even know what that is. Oh, that's that. Well, I'll turn it off after. So now what we're gonna do is render all these effects into our sample. So there's plenty of ways you can do this. You can arm it, record it this way, or you could just consolidate it, right click, track start, boom, you're done, rename it. And I like to stay organized because when you sample, when you're making a sample, it could get crazy. Pre-effects, boom. So we know what this is. So now this is what we have. We can turn these off. And I hope I'm not going too fast. I'm trying to keep everything in order. Okay, so again, we're just making this dark texture. Again, you could add atmosphere drums in there and embed it. But again, keeping it simple. So let's go here and we're gonna reverse it and then just chop it. So I like to do a bar by bar chop. And if you wanna, when you reverse it, right, it's gonna take the front and put it in the back and the back and put it in the front. So if you want to keep your progression or whatever you had, you would just simply flip it like this. Okay, but obviously we're not gonna do that. I'm just take this and just copy it twice, take this, copy it twice, and then we can just leave this bare bones muted. Let's see. Okay, so now we pretty much have our texture, and I'm gonna just pull these over and I'm gonna zoom in so you can see. So I'm gonna hold Alt and just peel them over a bit. And what this is gonna do is actually, it's going to blend them together so we don't have those like declicking noises. And I would just do these real quick so it's smooth. So now it sounds like a perfect loop, and you can do way more. You could chop, you could do other stuff. So this is what we have, and now we're gonna take this and put this on 1, which is where our post effects are. Okay, I'll just recolor this just so we know which is which. So now our post effects, okay, we'll just light that up. Again, there's nothing on here, it's literally just a name. So what we have for our post effects are, we just have a +4. You could do +4, -4. I think 4 is like a good number for like the samples, but you can use whatever number you want. This is just what I have. This is what it sounds like just with this. Now you also could just pitch it up here, but I just like the weird artifacting this plugin gives. It's kind of weird. So I just added that. And then on top, I just added like this. It's pretty much halftime, but you can use whatever halftime plugin you want. So this is, you can use like Gross Beat, Shaper Box, whatever. Right, and now you can see it sounds like a dark texture. So all we're gonna do is clean it up with an EQ. So this is just what I did. Probably could do more, honestly, but we'll just adjust if we need to. So now we have our dark texture. So at this point, you could add in your instruments, and then you can kind of put those instruments through your effect chains and stuff like that, and everything would kind of sound great together. So that is it. What we're gonna do is, I guess you could render it out, but this is actually ready. You could make a beat out of this. So I'm gonna just throw on, we were in C before, we went up, oh, I can't find it. Yeah, so we would be on E now, so we could just throw in like a quick little 808s just to show you how it sounds in the beats, just like literally just this texture. Could do something like this, and then maybe hopefully that sounds good. All right. You can see it already sounds good just like this. So this is that bass that you'll need to kind of make your samples sound good. I mean, on top, you know, if you want to add a guitar or you want to add your own vocals, right, and throw all that like weird stuff in there, you can. But that's it. That's all I'm going to show you. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.